It was a night that no one in American politics will ever forget. The cameras were rolling, the lights were bright, and the tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. Senator John Kennedy, known for his sharp wit and Southern charm, had just dropped a political bombshell, filing a $200 million lawsuit against rising Democratic star Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. But what happened next, live on national television, left millions of viewers speechless. When news first broke that Senator Kennedy was suing Crockett for defamation and irreparable damage to his reputation, social media exploded. Supporters of both politicians clashed online, each side convinced their hero was under attack. Kennedy's legal team claimed that statements Crockett made during a heated committee hearing maliciously damaged the senator's standing. But the Texas congresswoman, never one to back down, had other plans, and her response would redefine the conversation about truth, power, and accountability in Washington. The two had already built reputations for being unfiltered and fiercely outspoken. Kennedy, with his trademark one-liners, was a master of political theater. Crockett, bold and unapologetic, was emerging as a voice for a new generation, especially for young women of color who saw in her a reflection of their own fire and frustration. Their verbal sparring during a congressional session weeks earlier had gone viral, racking up millions of views online. But no one expected the fallout to go this far. As networks scrambled to cover the developing lawsuit, Crockett agreed to appear live on The Nation Tonight. What unfolded during that broadcast would soon become one of the most replayed clips in modern political history. When the cameras cut to her, Crockett didn't look shaken. Dressed in a sleek blue suit, she took a deep breath and smiled faintly before addressing the nation. "I've been called a lot of things in my life," she began softly, her voice steady, "but silenced has never been one of them." The studio fell silent. Then, over the next 10 minutes, Crockett delivered a powerful, emotionally charged response, not just to the lawsuit, but to the system she said it represented. "This lawsuit isn't about $200 million, she continued, eyes fixed on the camera. "It's about intimidation. It's about telling women, especially black women, that when we speak truth to power, we'll pay for it." Her words hit like thunder. Viewers flooded social media with messages of support. Hashtags like #StandWithJasmine and #TruthOverPower began trending within minutes. Even some of Kennedy's allies privately admitted they hadn't expected Crockett to strike back with such calm ferocity. Behind the scenes, Kennedy's team scrambled to manage the public backlash. Legal experts debated whether the lawsuit had any real merit, with some calling it a political stunt gone wrong, but others warned that the case could still drag on for months, draining resources and attention from both sides. Still, Crockett refused to retreat. In the days that followed, she held town halls, appeared on podcasts, and spoke directly to voters about the importance of standing firm against weaponized politics. She told the story of her upbringing in Dallas, how she'd been underestimated her whole life, how every obstacle had only made her stronger. "They can't take me to court," she said in one interview, "but they can't take my courage." That message resonated deeply with people far beyond her district. Donations poured into her campaign. Grassroots organizations rallied in her defense. Even some political commentators who had once dismissed her as too fiery began calling her one of the most authentic voices in Congress. Meanwhile, reports began to surface suggesting that Kennedy's case might not hold up under scrutiny. His lawyers were allegedly struggling to prove the level of malicious intent required for a defamation claim. As the legal pressure mounted, Kennedy appeared increasingly defensive in interviews. "This isn't personal," he insisted, though few believed him. Weeks later, in a dramatic twist, a federal judge dismissed a large portion of the lawsuit, calling several of Kennedy's claims unsupported and overly speculative. The decision sent shockwaves through Washington, and Crockett's reaction, once again, was pure grace. "This isn't a victory for me," she told reporters outside the courthouse. "It's a victory for every person who's ever been told to stay quiet. It's proof that truth still matters." The moment became symbolic, a testament to resilience, authenticity, and the courage to stand tall even when the system feels stacked against you. Political insiders said the event marked a turning point for Crockett's career, elevating her from rising star to national leader. Kennedy, on the other hand, faced growing criticism for what many saw as a miscalculated political gamble. By the time the dust settled, one truth had become clear: in a political era defined by conflict and spectacle, it was authenticity that captured hearts. Jasmine Crockett had not only survived the storm, she turned it into her defining moment. As the credits rolled on that unforgettable live broadcast, her final words still echoed in the minds of millions: greater than they can sue me, they can smear me, they can shout all they want, but they'll never silence the truth. And in that moment, viewers across America, regardless of party, felt something rare: hope.